Hello, everyone. I am Lillie Mae, creator of the Glambitious brand, and welcome to episode 3 of She's Making Black History Today. If this is your first time tuned in, please visit theglamceo.com and join my email list because I send out grant opportunities, event speaking opportunities, as well as interview opportunities to help amplify your voice and your business. Jodi-Kay, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone a little bit about who you are.
Hi, my name is Jodi-Kay Edwards. I am a brand strategist for CEOs and creatives, and my goal is to help us get seen as our authentic selves and get paid. So I'm all about creating income and impact.
Yes, and that is definitely what my network is looking for. They're looking for more income and more impact. So we're talking to the right person. Tell us a little bit about how mastering emotional intelligence can help people attract more opportunities.
You know what? That is something that I found is like the common link we all have when we're trying to get more visible, when we're trying to get in the rooms, when we're trying to build our brand and get these opportunities. It's not necessarily like some people are sleeping on you. A lot of times we're sleeping on ourselves. A lot of times we haven't mastered the skill set to communicate effectively what we want. And so I found that when we learn how to master our emotions, we can take that no as a not right now. And if we are okay with no, we're actually going to put ourselves out there a lot more. Like full transparency, I think people see moments like this and they're like, oh, this person was chosen. But it's like, no, girl, I answered the call. I pitched myself to be here. It was like a thing of maybe she's gonna pick me, maybe she's not gonna pick me, right? And so when we have that, we can actually automatically boost our confidence, and our confidence is going to get us more into the room, more eyes on us, and then also learning how to navigate those like not so pleasant conversations, like navigate those conversations of just, maybe this person isn't responding to me because they have something going on, not because like now I'm catastrophizing. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough or F this person, right? Like emotional intelligence really helps us to keep that balance and that increase that positive self talk so we don't self sabotage.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like not enough people speak to the power of that in business. We talk about emotional intelligence a lot as it relates to like interpersonal connections, like personal relationships or things like that. But we never talk about how that equates to how we show up in business or how we're thinking as it relates to business opportunities. So that is very, very profound because you can't assume, like you said, that a no is a rejection. It could just be not right now, maybe down the road. Maybe there's another opportunity that's more in alignment right now. So I love that concept of what you're sharing. Now, talk a little bit about speaking to connect and convert.
You know, it's one of those things that I'm sure you as well have been on a lot of panels, or you've been part of a lot of panels, or you've maybe been sitting in the audience on a panel. And it does kind of tie back into what I was saying about like the emotional intelligence piece, because we all have something amazing inside of us. My job is literally to help CEOs and creators pull out that story and communicate it in a way that is relatable. But a lot of times when we don't have that professional training or even just the years of experience, what we end up doing is we get on platforms like this or we get on stage and we just talk about ourselves, right? Like, and we don't know how to do it in a way that's going to capture attention. I could have started with, hi, my name is Jodi-Kay Edwards. I'm a Libra. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I moved to America, right? But it's like, that's cool. Yeah, there's a time and place for that conversation. But right away, it's more like, who is this person? Does my attention span care enough to be like, okay, like she's born in Kingston, Jamaica. What can that do for me? And we have to be aware enough to know, unfortunately, that's kind of like what we're competing against. Until we are a bigger brand, until we are more well known, people just don't care as much. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's kind of like people get it backwards. We hear the bigger brands sharing their story and we hear the bigger brands saying all these things, but we don't realize that they actually told that story. They've been telling that same story for 10 plus years, right? And they have amassed a group of people. Like I can tell Oprah's story probably better than my best friend because that's, between Deepak, what is his name? Like, I can't even say his name, but like, yes, that's it, right? Between all of the collaborations she's done with him and
Mhm.
Mind Valley, it's like all of the spaces and personal development spaces I'm in, I've heard her story. Lisa May, I've heard so many different like people that I aspire to either like grow with, build a brand with, um, and connect with, that I've learned that they're not just getting on these stages and telling their story just for fun. They're
Mhm.
doing it in a way to say, hey, I've been through this and this is what I sell, this is what I do. They're not saying it like this, but I've been through this, but I want to show you that you can too. And a lot
Mhm.
of times it's about positioning. And that's what I want to teach people as a brand strategist is use your story as a tool to position you. And so when I say connect and convert, I really mean your story isn't really about you. It's about the experiences you've been through. It's about you being a guide for others, right? It might feel like main character energy. That's what I've got going on my Instagram right now. Be the main character for your life. But really, what that means is you're the guiding light for a lot of other people. And if it's so personalized that people can't see themselves in your story, you're going to lose. You're going to lose the attention. You're going to lose that attention span that people have.
Yes, no, you're 100% right. Like, it's so important that when you have a platform or an opportunity to speak, that you say something that is going to attract people's attention, right? Because as soon as you're like, yes, I help people with brand strategy and sponsorships, my ears perked up like, oh, that's what I need, right? And so when you're on a platform, whether it's a podcast or a stage, you want people to perk up like, oh, let me pay attention further because she's going to say something that is a value that can support or help me in my journey. So you're 100% about right about that. And you also mentioned like Oprah's story, who's definitely such an inspiration to us. And I think what has worked for Oprah is being authentic. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the Oprah that we met 30 years ago is the Oprah that we see now, as far as like her personality, her presentation. She never really, switched up on us in a way that was shocking. She was always authentically her. So talk a little bit about building an authentic brand.
Yes. And I want to say I combined Lisa Nichols with your name, Lily May. And I said Lisa May. And I was like, that's not what I was trying to say. Lisa Nichols. So I'm actually going to use Lisa Nichols' story here.
Okay.
Um, you're probably like, this girl, don't even know my name. I was like, I promise you, girl, I do. But your story is very inspiring too. I know we connected authentically. Like I was just telling you before we went live, like it was like 7 or 10 years ago. It is just
Wow.
so amazing to see like the growth and all of that. So that's what I mean. Like even just I've kind of been in your audience and listening to you share your story and listening to you show up and listening to you share the ups and the downs and being real and authentic about business and growing and all of that. When people say like, well, how do I be authentic? A lot of that is really just like how comfortable are you with where you are right now, right?
Mhm.
How comfortable are you with sharing that? And so when I read Lisa Nichols' book, I'm not a mother, but I could resonate with her story of just not having enough. Her
Mhm.
story of, growing up and just being in a position where being so in debt, like not being able to pay the bills, but having this like big dream. And so when we talk about authenticity, she turned her personal story into a literal story, into a book. And that's something that we all have the power to do, whether we are deciding to show up on Instagram Live or streaming it on YouTube, or we decide to write a book, or we're right now just kind of sticking to Facebook captions or Instagram captions or TikTok.
Mhm.
There's so many different ways for us
Mhm.
to start the art of storytelling
Mm.
before we get to the big stage and before we get to the book deal, right? And so I want to encourage everyone right now when it comes to personal authenticity, it's really just asking yourself, how comfortable am I? Right? I don't want anyone to be so authentic that they're re-triggering themselves. Let's say you're recently divorced or you're recently grieving. Those are things that it's nice when you can share from a place of empowerment. Share from
Mhm.
a place where it's not going to sit you in a negative thinking trap or a spiral, right? But think about what you're actually going through. And again, the EQ, don't be embarrassed about it. Don't think you're the only one going through it because that's really the thing that stops us from showing up and sharing authentically. We like feel like, oh, I should have the six figures already, or because I announced my seven-figure launch, I can't tell them that I went bankrupt this year, right? There's all these things and it's like, well, there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there that I bet you're not the only one that went through it. But if your story, you can craft it and position it in a way to say, hey, I've been here and I've been through this, think life is not great all the time, or maybe life is great all the time because this is what I do, right? Make it work for you, whether you have like a trauma story or a couch story or living in the basement story or a Nepo baby story, whatever. You've never struggled, that's cool too. It's just position it in a way that's going to help someone overcome the the common struggles that we all go through as humans. We all go through. I bet you and I right now, Lillie, we have so much in common probably, right? And it's just a matter of like listening and storytelling and discovering and you know what I mean, being real with each other. So your audience is waiting for that interaction too.
So true. So true. It's funny because also when I think about brand authenticity, I think about like allowing your true personality to shine. Like anyone that's ever come to like a Lillie Mae event in person, they know like I am a silly Billy. I like to crack jokes. I like to cut up, but I also love God and I also pray over you. But I'm also very, gifted in marketing and public relations. And so, a part of having an authentic brand is being comfortable in your skin, in your personality, and being willing to let people really see that, because that is what also attracts people to you. I always say my vibe attracts my tribe, because I know I'm not for everyone, but I am for a certain type of woman, and she can only recognize me if I show up authentically me, if I be the real Lillie and let people see the real Lillie and not just the polished, only talking about business person. So I love what you shared about, the authentic part of building a brand for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk content, because everything is content. Everything is content. Share, some content marketing strategies, because I feel like social media overwhelms people a lot. Definitely when I have clients that I'm coaching, that's usually the challenge is social media. Like they're overwhelmed with where to post, what to post, how to post. So give us a few like content marketing strategies that are going to help us in this season.
Yes, absolutely. So I am a content marketing strategist. So that is the modality through which I help people get seen and get paid. There's so many different ways to do marketing, and essentially understanding that marketing is really just how well you can get your message out. There's like above the line marketing. You might do billboards, you might do radio, like below the line marketing, right? You might do social media and all of that. And so there's so many different ways to do it. You might do SEO, blogging, email marketing, SMS, text. I choose content marketing because that is the easiest way I have found, after coaching thousands of CEOs and creatives through this and working with so many different people like Fortune 500 companies or new founders or, baby CEOs, I call them. They're kind of like unclear of where to go. I always say start here, whether it's the Fortune 500 CEO who wants to exit his company and he's looking, he or she, generally I do work with males at that level, but, he's looking to build authority and maybe like create that pitch deck for those investors, or it's the baby CEO or someone in between, right, who has a brand but they're looking to land more brand deals or looking to sell whatever it is, a physical product or a digital product or a service. It's content marketing, and the reason being is because, like we were saying, everything is content, and it's really all about positioning. Like right now, I've got my phone up here. I'm recording a little bit because I know I can use a little clip of this as BTS to tease when this actually comes out, which is going to be out because I know it's already the streaming live, right? So that's a content marketing strategy. I might choose this clip and I might say, I'm going to take this little clip that I've got recorded on my phone here in this corner and put it on my Instagram story and say, hey, I just dropped some of my best gems on content marketing and building your personal brand. Text brand to this number to access the full episode, right? Because that's strategy. Even if it's out there for free, like I'm not Beyonce, so no one's stalking me. No one's typing in Jodi-Kay's latest interview on Google, right? So I have to bring awareness to that. And content marketing is such an easy way to do it. Also, because all I need is my brain and a way to capture it, my phone, right? Or a camera. So when we look at the different ways to do this, we can break it down to, am I someone who wants to educate? Is this going to be a 3 ways to build your brand type deal? Now, as a content marketing strategist, that way is a little bit old. So a new updated way is more like how I built my brand or how I built my like 500,000 brand, right? Versus like 3 ways to do this. That's a little bit old. We want to get people more interested. Like, it's my personal brand. So they're going to want to
Mhm.
know how I did it. That's one strategy right there. That's actually a really big gem. Copywriting is everything. So if I want to educate, I can also inspire, right? I could say something like, in 2017, my car was repossessed, but here I am in 2025, and now I'm looking at getting a car through my business, right? That would be a form of storytelling where I could inspire,
Mhm.
right? So we've talked about educate, we've talked about inspire. We can edutainment is I think what they call it. You can like
Mhm.
educate and entertain, or you can just entertain. I'm a little bit goofy too, and I talk about like
Mhm.
single life, and I'm a fashion girly, and I have this like baddie brand manager vibe. Like I love my blazer and a crop top girl. I'll also corporate it up whatever I need to, but that's me. Like I authentically capture myself being me because your vibe attracts your tribe, exactly what you said. So
Mhm.
the content marketing piece is really just pulling out pieces of you, whether it's your brain, whether it's your storytelling, whether it's something you've been through, your journey, etc., and putting it online in a way that's positioned to go through one of those categories I mentioned: educate, entertain, inspire, like a combination of all of those. That's like a quick high level of like content marketing for starters.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you gave us a mini course actually. So y'all, that was good. She gave us that for free. Okay. That was good. That was good. And I will say, I'm definitely scheduling a call with you so that we can talk about brand strategy for the Glambitious brand moving forward.
Yeah.
And I want everyone who taps into this interview to also connect with her, because I think storytelling, there's definitely an art to storytelling. There's an art to content marketing, and I feel like you're the one to help us with that. So give your contact information, how people can book a call with you or follow you on Instagram.
Yes, right now you can go to www.jodikayedwards, JODIKAYEDWARDS /clarity call, and pretty much anything. I'm going to give you another slug. If you want to join my free 30-day challenge where I'm teaching you how to be your own brand manager, people are literally yelling at me. They're like, take this offline. Why is this free? And I'm like, stop, just enjoy it. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. The people need to know. It's 30 days of prompts. It's going to help you increase your impact and income and impact. And that's www.jodikayedwards.com/CEO. And I'm gonna take you through how to land brand deals. I'm taking you through how to position yourself, how to do some of this content marketing stuff we talked about. And there's no upsell. It's really just, I want more of us to focus on doing this better because there's so much money out there to be made. There's so much money out there to be made. And if I can have more people in my community that's saying, Jodi really taught me how to secure my first 4-figure brand deal, or second or third or fifth or whatever. I also talk about how to speak on big stages during this 30-day challenge and how to position your packages and sell it to corporate. So I'm not holding back. You would think I'm about to retire. I'm not. I'm giving the whole thing because I'm like, you know what? I need y'all to stop asking me and just do it. So
Yes,
here
I
it
love
is.
it. Don't retire yet. Don't retire just yet. We need to hear more of you. We need to learn more from you. So don't retire just yet.
Yeah.
But you shared some really, really good gems during this interview. And I appreciate you, sharing your time with us, responding to the thread. I posted on threads and like literally maybe 500 or 600 people responded. So it was such a massive response. I wish I could interview everyone, but I couldn't. But, I was definitely selecting people that I feel like would have some, top tier, high value gems to share with my audience. And you were definitely one of those people. So
I'm so
thank
grateful for you, girl. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And again, if this is your first time tuning in, please leave something in the comments because she shared so many good gems. At least comment replay to let us know you're catching the replay, or just let us know like what tip would help you today. Like which gem did she share that you're going to take and apply to your business today? Definitely, start chatting in the comments down there. And also, again, if you're interested in being a speaker at our Houston brunch on March 1st or our New Orleans brunch during again, there are still opportunities to participate in that way. Just head over to theglamceo.com for those details. And thank you all so much for tuning in to another edition of the She's Making Black History Today series.